Sigma Male Diaries Podcast. Let's get on with it, y'all.
Let's go.
We can relax, have fun, get a good laugh, get information, and enjoy the show. I mean to do what it do, baby. Sigma Male Diaries.
Hey, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of the love, all the support, and all of the for everyone who has contributed to my talks and everything like that. It really means a lot. Right now, I'm still trying to get my account straightened out because a lot of things isn't really like solidified yet. I don't know how the process goes. But to avoid anything where they have to like go back and make too many adjustments and mess everything up, I will still continue to do some talks though. I don't really care about the mentor coins and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that my account is actually verified and validated and is in working order to my satisfaction though. As most of you know, I had went to bed around 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. I only get like 6 hours of sleep daily, which I'm going to have to, because I'm 45, I'm getting older and stuff like that. I am going to have to reduce my time as far as my podcast. However, I did find an easier way to do it where I can manage it a whole lot better. So it's kind of feasible for me and everything like that to continue going in the direction that I'm going now, because I really do enjoy it. And I was kind of surprised that I actually had taken a liking to this platform, because I really don't like to integrate myself or really be involved with like people, especially people I don't know, because you have a lot of weird characters out there, people that troll you. I mean, people that intentionally try to distract you from your purpose. I mean, if you're focused, that's not a problem. But those distractions are there, and it will appear there. So you have to have a level head. You have to always understand what humility is, being humble. Morale, that can take you a long way, but that depends on the topic at hand. Because not everybody is going to deal with the substance of morale. It will always be substituted with like jealousy, hate, envy, all that unnecessary bullshit, right? But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate the support, and I'm starting to learn how to network more with people due to the fact that I'm a business owner and a serial entrepreneur, right? I don't find it too bad as I thought I would have. I've been doing YouTube videos, I've been doing Zoom meetings and stuff, but the difference with that is I was able to establish some form of relationship with those people beforehand or forehand. However you choose to utilize the experience, that's completely up to you. However, I was able to pick up a good pace on here. So far I have almost like 44 followers, and I just started 2 days ago. Less than 48 hours ago, I believe. Or it could be going into 72 hours. However, it's ironic because I got more followers on here now than I do on YouTube. And I've been working YouTube and dealing with that whole process for like 4 or 5 months, right? Each his own. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I am on here to spread knowledge, facts, whatever information that you feel you may need an answer to, you may need some type of solidification, mentorship, whatever the case is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that harsh of a person. Maybe that's my self-truth, but I'm very realistic. I'm very upfront. I'm honest. Last but not least, I'm very direct. I literally hate small talk. If it doesn't serve a purpose, if the intent isn't like something that's going to be like of progress, I'm not going to indulge in any conversations of such nature. I do not have the time. I value my time. However, I made the rational choice to be here. So, I mean, it's a give and take with this whole thing, which is fine. It has its perks, it has its ups, and it has its downs. as anything in life would consist of. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you had heard any of my previous talks or anything, if you had a chance to go through it, hit me up at Alpha Male Diaries, ladies and gentlemen, at gmail.com. And it is spelled Alpha, ALPHA, Male, MALE, Diaries. You understand me? I came up with that name because, as we know, most Sigma males, we keep journals, we keep diaries. Mainly, it's written down or it's in our heads. I mean, it's one of two things. That's the only way it's going to happen. My personality and character is different from most, if not all, people. I'm a very rare individual, as most of you will find out. We all appear to be the same, but we do things differently. I'm not going to sit here and separate myself from society. However, I don't care too much to indulge with society, its laws, its rules, any of that bullshit, all that validation, all that judgment call shit, man. I don't care about all that stuff. You know, I'm self-sufficient, I'm self-fulfilled. I don't need any validation. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm good. You know, so I can come on here and I am able. I only choose to lead whenever I feel I want to. So other than that, if I don't find any just cause in it, if I don't see any justification, the same thing, any logic, I mean, I'm not even going to say anything. That's just how it is. If I feel as if it's not filling, if I do not have anything that's of substance, I'm not going to say anything. Just so you ladies and gentlemen understand, I do talk more or less in the red pill community, manosphere type stuff. Things that does matter as far as bringing people together. It's not so much of bringing a division between the modern woman and the traditional woman, the modern man, the traditional man, the beta males, the alpha males, the simps. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, all that shit is real. A lot of people don't want to hear it. I came across a lot of guys who felt as if, oh man, you know, you're talking about my mom. Man, listen, fuck you and your mom. I mean, it's on a total different playing field. When you're dealing with like seriousness and you're dealing with life, your legacy, your purpose, your destiny, ambition, desire. I mean, you're making sacrifices after sacrifice after sacrifice. You're changing, you know, your network of people, your friends, every 5 to 10 years. You never get comfortable. You can never get comfortable in the line of work that I'm in. And that's living, period. Living. You have to work to live, and you have to fight and struggle to survive. It's a big difference. A lot of us men have legacies. Some of us don't. We aren't able to have kids. Some of us, we buried our children. You know, I mean, stuff like that, man. I mean, you think about all this bullshit that's going on. It really doesn't make any sense. All this supremacy, this racism. You know, these kids, 18 years old, man, taking out kids and adults and everything behind a failed agenda. The KKK, all that racist shit, Willie Lynch, all that bullshit, that's dead, man. Now, I will say that's a whole new time and era now. You know, all that shit that they put with us Africans in America, like even 40, 60 years ago, that shit not flying now. You know, it's time to take a stance wherever you are. It's not about black or white. It's about survival. It's about equality. All that racial injustice, all that political bullshit. And I listen, I've been involved in political science ever since I was in college, right? And when I see these things, you go to, you know, man, listen. If you ever wonder why a lot of people, you know, go to college and obtain degrees in certain fields, I'm gonna tell you something, right? It's because we never really, and I'm going to get back to my original conversation. It's not because we didn't have to fight in us to. Well, I went all the way. I went all 6 years and I obtained 8 degrees, right? So I tested out. I listen. It's like this. When you finally understand, when you research your field of study or your majors, you know, whatever the case is, do a lot of research in that stuff first to ensure that when you do graduate, you're going to get a fucking job in that field. A lot of us go to college and get useless degrees. You rack up student loan debt for nothing. You're not even going to go in that field to even work, to even get the type of income that you felt or you felt you deserved for going to college. You know, spending money and all this other shit, and you drop out. Man, listen, if I knew what I knew then, I would have saved $350,000. If I just knew that all I had to do was become a entrepreneur. Do you understand? Do you know how much money I would have saved that I could have contribute that to my 2 children. I have 2 children. That breaks me even at $300 grand. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the course of their life, from the ages of 18, even up to 25. Like I'm still, like my daughter, she's in med school. So you can imagine what the tuition is like every fucking semester. And she's going for 4 years. I mean, this is insane. That's why I told her I cannot wait till you marry your fiance. I told him quick, man, listen, you got the ring, y'all got a baby out of the way. You know, come September, man, listen, they got their own house and everything now. Hey, dog, and I trust you to take the wheel, man. I wouldn't even let that fly if I didn't trust him. Like, I ain't one of those fathers. I love my daughter. She just happened to meet a guy that reminded her of me, she said. So, you know, he boxes and everything as well. He's very talented. I mean, he's a respectful guy. You know what I mean? And I do love him. I do love him. They've been together for 5 years. You know, that's the only man she ever experienced. You know what I mean? I mean, shit happens. You know, we single fathers and stuff. We can't always watch our children. But at least I didn't find out she was really messing around, like, sexually until, like, 2.5 years ago. Because me and her had to talk. You know, I figured my daughter 15, she's 16. I don't see any change in it yet. But then, yeah, you really start to see them grow mature in a totally different way. The emotions do change. You know what I mean? The emotions do change. Women are very emotional. And that is something that a lot of us men do understand, that women are emotional. And, you know, that's how we balance each other out. Women are feminine, we're masculine, right? We're not equals. This is, please, ladies and gentlemen, this whole 50-50 concept. I understand. Apply it to bills. You know what I mean? If you and whoever you're with are in a similar income bracket, that 50-50 stuff, that's fine. Y'all can go half on the cable. Y'all can go half on this. Y'all can go half on that. Maybe whoever you're dating or engaged to, or maybe who you're with, they're not in a financial position to provide, you know, fully, but they are able to provide where you don't have to carry everything alone. You know, I was coming out here with a question. Is a piece of a man better than no man? Huh? Is a piece of a man better than no man? Like, with the dating scenarios and how everything is looking now, you know, a lot of people is like back, especially men, they're shying away from dating. You know, like, man, forget it. Why spend $100 to go on a date? I could just give it, you know, I could just trick. And some men are doing that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I mean, much money as I make, if it was up to me, I'd rather hit up an escort and, you know, you go your way. After we done and I go mine, there's nothing. I'll hit you up when I'm ready to be bothered with you. And that's just how it is. Oh, you know, the dudes, if they didn't have money, you know, they wouldn't do this, they would. You motherfucker right. If we didn't have the money, yeah, we'll be suffering like most of these men are suffering now today. You know, they be getting ghosted, they be getting used. I mean, the women know they don't like them, they know they're not going to sleep with them. And ladies, why do you go on dates with men you know you're not going to sleep with? I mean, we all know it's beneficial to you. I mean, come on. But why is it that a woman can be born with her value, right? She can get in the clubs, she can get things for free. I mean, men are willing to help her out. The moment she even sheds a tear or have a little sad look on her face, like these simps, right? You know, these guys that's not even desired, but they'll be used for the meantime, right? You know, it's just a win-win situation for most people, especially women. But men, we have to make ourselves valuable. You know, we have to make ourselves valuable. We're not born with that. We have to make rational decisions and logical choices in order to become a valuable or desired man, which is a lot of work. And it's sad because it takes a man up until he's 35. It takes a man literally 35 years, seriously, to really start getting his value. I'll say 30. A woman is born with hers, and she has 30 years too as well, see. But once she hits 30, that's when the danger zone, that's when everything goes downhill. And that's why you would see these 40-year-old women still dressing like they 25, 26. They still hanging out with their daughters. They competing with their daughters. They on TikTok with their daughters. They on Facebook with their daughters. They on Instagram with their daughters. And they're just competing. They are just competing. And it's so sad to whereas the mother or the daughter can be in a relationship or meet a guy, and either the two could be present, and then you'll realize how they look at each other, you know, or they watch the man that's around her and her daughter to see who he's more attracted to. I mean, all this other crazy shit. You know he's a man. You know your daughter's younger. She's a younger version of yourself. You know she got to go on because you once had to go on, but that was 15, 20 years ago. So now you have to feel insecure around your daughter. You got to watch your man. You got to watch your daughter to see if your daughter watching him, to see if she's trying to get in his pockets, because you know what your motives are, your intent, your agenda. I see men do it too, but it's not as it's not like that with guys. So like shit, we get it in. It's not like I love her, you know what I mean? But some women are emotionally tied, especially through sex, soul ties, or whatever they want to call it, right? But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's about decisions. It's about you making you happy, right? Because trying to make someone else happy, that's, ladies and gentlemen, that is obsolete. That is out the window. If a person isn't self-fulfilled with happiness, they haven't put in the work. First of all, a lot of people deal with a lot of mental issues and a lot of trauma. They deal with a lot of toxicity, a lot of breakups, moving from house to house as a kid, then to foster homes. I mean, a lot of people have been touched, they've been violated. A lot of things has happened. You know what I mean? And it fucks a person mindset up. It really does. It really deals, really does a number in their mental space. So if you're not mentally healthy, you can't possibly obtain or conduct or maintain a healthy relationship in any aspect of your life, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, even with family, relatives, and friends. It's not going to happen. And a lot of people do avoid therapy. Why are people so afraid to say, I need help, right? You know you need the help. You would sit there and tell somebody, no, it's not them. I know it's me. But you still won't go and get help. You're worrying about someone labeling. If you need the help, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly suggest you go get the help. I mean, you can hop on someone's podcast. You can watch YouTube videos. You can join Facebook groups. And I'm not bashing anyone. You can go on Instagram and listen to everybody else's story and try to apply it to your life. But you need to make that a habit. You have to apply it daily, not just hear something, that's just going to elevate your soul. Your soul. And that's it. And then 2 or 3 days later, or maybe even later on that day, you're doing the same thing again. If you ever was to sit back and watch yourself, record yourself on a daily basis, right? I mean, I'm just saying, if you was able to see yourself through a recorded lens, would you be happy with yourself? Would you be shocked? Would you be surprised? How would you feel if you literally was able to see you every day, let's say for 3 days to a week? Do you think you'll feel the same about yourself? Or do you think you'll make improvements in your life? I mean, I come up with these weird theories, but if you really think about it, it does make sense. It's what they call looking in the mirror. I just set y'all up for that. So how many of you are willing to look in the mirror? How many of you are strong enough? How many of you are willing to self-reflect? The reason why I said strong enough, because when a lot of people dig deep into themselves, that they pass their lives, it's painful. It is for a lot of people. It's painful. But are you going to allow that pain to consume you with fear, anger, hatred? I mean, you have no self-love, no ambition, no desire, no real desire to live. I mean, you look around and you see things that may give you a glimpse of hope. It may give you some type of desire, but that's based on something or someone else. What about you? Are you going to do it for yourself? Do you love you enough? And if you don't love you, why do you want somebody else to love you? And you can't even love them back. You can't even love yourself. So why do people look for things within others that they know they are void of within themselves, right? Have you ever tried to take a half a cup of water and try to get a full glass out of it? Have you consistently sat there and realized that you are the only one pouring yourself into someone else? Does that make sense? You have full because you're always pouring into someone else. What about someone else pouring into you, though? Do they find you worthy of doing so? Do they find you valuable? Do they feel as if you're going to take what they're doing and make it beneficial and apply it to your life? Are they taking a chance? Are they risking their time? Are they taking a risk? And these are the things that a lot of people have to come to terms with. And it's called reality. You have to be aware of self-truths, man, because a self-truth is a very dangerous implementation. When you apply those things to your life and say, hey, I'm going to put this in this theory or this conversation because this is how I feel, and you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong. You have to look at things in an objective manner. Reality, logic, things that make sense, things that will allow you to grow, things that wouldn't hinder you, cause you to feel at a standstill. Are you okay with being stagnated, or do you want to succeed and get past, this rough journey that you're going along? Are you going to give up, or are you going to continue to fight? Are you going to get the help, or are you going to stand denied, ladies and gentlemen? When you're living amongst the living, you're living amongst the dead as well. It's a lot of broken people. It's a lot of hurt, angry people. It's a lot of damaged people. And some of those people are good people. They just don't see it themselves. You understand me? All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12:30. I don't know. I really do feel like going back to sleep, but for some reason, I know I'm not. You ever been so tired you feel like you got a hangover? Oh, yeah, I was drinking last night. Never mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoyed my timeline here. Please feel free to follow me, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that bad. If I'm doing a talk, please feel free to join in. I'm not sure if the join button is there, but it says if you want people to come in, just go ahead. And okay.
How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm blessed. How you doing today?
Great. I'm just getting ready to go out and water my garden. Actually, I'm extending it, so I'm going to go out there and work on that some more. And sitting here listening to you and drinking a cup of coffee and getting ready to start today. So I was talking a couple of days ago, and I noticed you start following me. So I just want to introduce myself and say, you talk a good talk. The reality of life is all about who you are, and what it is you want out of life and want for others after you get what you want. Your surplus that is overflowing that is what you are giving out, and that is what I'm giving out in a way. And to me, the good is being flowing out. I know the good is going to come back. And I really love to hear people talk about their life and to get what they want out of life. My uncle used to always, my oldest uncle, had 11 kids. My father was the youngest. He would come over to the house and say, "A penny for your thought, James." And I would tell him. He would encourage me, whatever it's going to be, from a teacher to a truck driver.
Uh-huh.
And then turn around and give me the penny. And then he asked me, did I understand what he just said? I would say, yes, sir. He would turn around and say, okay, now tell me what I said in your own words. And he did that from the age of 8 to the age of 11. And so like now, when somebody asks me a question or talking to me, I give them a straight answer. I don't say some kind of curse word to fill in the blanks. I give them a straight answer. And it feels really good. Like that. And me myself, I have a PhD in philosophy, a bachelor's in humanity. 5-bedroom home on a half an acre, and both is paid for. And I'm 64 years old, and it's just my wife and I.
Here we go.
Like that.
Yeah, so, congratulations, Dr. Goodman. Yes, sir, from doctor to doctor. Yeah, I did political science, and I do a major in accounting and computer programming, computer science and engineering. But I happened to switch my majors before my undergrad, my master's. Yeah, because I started off with psychology. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I took that for a semester. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I kind of understood everything. Like it made too much sense to me. I'm like, oh, so this is what's wrong with people. Oh no, I'm not about to be a magnet for that. And here it is. 18 years later, I'm talking on the podcast.
You are, I mean, hey, believe you me, if you raised with the love and the ability, like my mother, father, uncles will say, do better than I did.
Right.
And the one that had, I always say a penny for your thought, had 5 acres of farm. But he also would say, because I'm a farmer, it doesn't mean you have to be. No, do better than I did.
Right.
And so I feel like I did. And that, and now I get to share that with other people and encourage other people to do just that. Be who you are. Not what someone else say you should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Dr. Goodman. I agree wholeheartedly because that's what true happiness really is. Success.
Right.
Are you successful in the things that you want to do in life and with who you are? That's what success is. Once you leave this place, that determines, everything that you have done in regards to society. See, that's what people look at. I mean, you can do all these things while you're alive, but see, most people recognize you when you're gone, and that's kind of sad. But it happens. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, that guy right there. I never said anything to him or the woman over there, or I never seen anything to her. But when something tragic happens, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't know who that is. That was a good person. I used to see him all the time, walk up and down the street. I never said anything to him, but now I wish I had him. You understand what I'm saying? And it is crazy
Yeah.
that it goes like that. And you're two
Yeah.
houses down from each other. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's insane.
And bad to say, my cousin grandchild, they bought him a new outfit, and he wanted to put it on, but his birthday was the next day, and he cried himself to sleep, and he didn't wake up.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is so sad.
Yeah. So so just that right there is like every moment is precious to everyone because that's all they have is the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they buried him in the little suit, the little outfit they bought him, but it was just the thought of him just wanted to put it on. But they wanted him to put it on the next day for his birthday.
Yeah. He died. He cried his teeth, but he died of a little broken heart.
He died of a little broken heart. That's right.
Man.
So
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. So when a little kid says something to me, I got my total attention on them, whatever they saying.
Right.
Or trying to say. And that's with everybody else. And else with myself. Because it's like, all right, you have to enjoy that moment because you can go like that. And yes, that was heartbreaking, to see this little, I think it was 4 years old at the most.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like that. So me myself, I was like, hey, every moment, I'm gonna treat it very precious to myself, and anybody I'm around. And if you want to be very negative to me, I'm like go away. I'll tell you like my grandmother would say, I will forgive you too. And you go, what you forgiving me for? She will go, well, when you figure it out, you come and let me know.
Right. Yeah, find out sooner or later.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I started using that in school, and people who just be negative to me, they would say, hey, James, Robert, like that, But one guy was so blown away, he started calling me Mr. Goodman every time he see me. And I wasn't no more than 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was a hi, Mr. Goodman. After I made that statement to him.
You kept that thing for almost 50 years,
Yeah.
I remember your wisdom. I remember how you told you were, right? I pay attention to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put
Right.
you out there, but yeah, I mean, it's fortunate because, wisdom goes a long way. And a lot of us need older men such as yourself, because we don't really have that much, in certain areas, depending on what state you're in, the demographics of your area, even just the whole family dynamic, you know what I mean? Because women are just saying, hey, I don't need a man. So when you come across like other men that has the same mindset that you have, but it's kind of rare in a close vicinity, I mean, that brings me a lot of comfort and solace when I come across men such as yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm about to out, but it was fun talking with you.
All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Goodman. I appreciate the talk, but such as, whatever he's doing, I'm trying to do too. But with a little zing to it. I love having my gin with my coffee, man, my vodka and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie. I drink once in a while. I had one bottle for 14 months, a whole gallon of gin. I ain't gonna lie, extra dry. I still got it over there right now, and I take little sips here and there, put it in my Kool-Aid, my coffee. I do it all, man. I just relax and enjoy life, man, but I value life. You have to make every second count, ladies and gentlemen. Make everything count. Understand your purpose. Fellas, your legacy. Know what it is that you want to do in life. Goals are very important. I know they say 5 years, but shoot for 10. Every 5 years, you can reevaluate. Every year, you can readjust. You can reevaluate. Do whatever it is that you got to do. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are all people. We have to live in this world together. And the things that we do will impact others as well as ourselves, whether we know it or not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Nigel McKnight of Sigma Male Diaries. And y'all stay blessed. Have a happy Sunday. Enjoy the holiday weekend. That man.
And other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my talk, my podcast. Some of you might like what I say. Then again, some of you might not. But I don't give a fuck. And I really don't. But thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen. And this is your host on Wisdom and your host on Sigma Male Diaries, Nigel McKnight. Y'all stay safe and be blessed. Amen.